Today, I want to talk about a story that will matter deeply to many people aged 50 and above across the UK, because it concerns the payment often known as the winter fuel payment and the fact that three distinct groups of older people will not receive the full amount that many expect. The payment in question is the winter fuel payment, and it's scheduled to be worth £200 for most households, rising to £300 in households where someone is aged 80 or over. It sounds straightforward, but the eligibility rules contain some important caveats, and whether you'll receive it in full depends on your individual circumstances. Let's start by being clear. For the winter of 2025 into 2026, the government has confirmed that this payment will be made automatically for most pension-age households in England and Wales, provided you were born before the 22nd of September 1959 and meet other eligibility criteria. But the fact remains, not everyone aged over state pension age will get the full amount of £300, or indeed receive a payment without deductions or exclusions. Here are the three groups who will not get the full payment, or who may effectively miss out altogether. First, people whose annual taxable income is over £35,000. For those individuals, although the payment may initially be made, it will then be reclaimed through the tax system, meaning you may not end up keeping it. The threshold of £35,000 was introduced to limit the benefit to those on lower or moderate incomes. So, if you're a pensioner whose taxable income, including pension income and other taxable sources, exceeds £35,000, you're effectively in the group that will not get the full payments or may have to give it back. That means even though you might appear eligible by age, your income knocks you out of full benefit. Second, people who spent the entire qualifying week, defined this year as the week of the 15th to the 21st of September 2025, in hospital receiving free treatment. The rules specify that if you were in hospital for that entire qualifying week, you are excluded from this payment. That means someone who, say, was admitted to hospital on the 15th and left after the 21st of September might find themselves excluded even though they are pension age. It's an unusual edge case, but one that is set out in the official guidance. Third, residents of certain care homes who receive specific means-tested benefits and who have lived in a care home from a certain date. More specifically, if you live in a care home and you have been continuously resident there from the 23rd of June 2025 or earlier, and you are claiming pension credit, universal credit, income-related, income support, income-based job seekers, allowance or income-related, employment and support allowance, you may not be eligible for the payment. So even though you are of pensionable age, if your care home residency and benefit status combine in this way, you could miss out. Now, you might be wondering, how big an effect is this in practice? Well, official commentary suggests that around 2 million pensioners in England and Wales have incomes above the £35,000 threshold and are thus in the group that may lose out or have the payment recovered. Meanwhile, the fact that care home exclusions and hospital week exclusions exist means that there are sharp-edge cases that slip through the cracks. Let's walk through some relatable examples. Imagine Mrs. Hughes, aged 82, living alone on her state pension plus a private pension and rental income, bringing her taxable income to £40,000. In this scenario, she would qualify by age, but because she earns over £35,000, she would face the payment being clawed back and essentially she would not keep the full £300. Or take Mr. Patel, age 75, living with his wife, age 73, in their own home, income under the threshold. They are eligible for £200, since neither of them is over 80, but if either of them had spent the full qualifying week in hospital, the whole entitlement would vanish. Or Mrs. Brown, aged 85, living in a care home, receiving pension credit, and has lived in the care home continuously since June. In that case, she may not be eligible at all under these rules. It is very important for viewers in the UK, especially those aged 50 and above who are moving into or are already at pension age, to understand these rules, because the headline figures of £300 can mask these exclusions. It is easy to assume, I'm pension age, so I'll get it, but the detail matters. Another key point, for most people who are eligible, there is no need to apply. The payment is automatic. And if you are eligible, you should receive a letter in October or November telling you how much you will get, and payments are usually made in November or December. Still, if you think you're eligible but don't receive a letter by late January next year, you should check your entitlement. It is worth noting that if you live in Scotland, the rules are different. The winter fuel payment does not apply in Scotland in the same way because there is a separate scheme, the Pension Age Winter Heating Payment, administered by Social Security Scotland. So for a UK-based audience, this means if you reside in Scotland, you will need to check your specific scheme rather than assume you will get the same payment. Given all of this, what should you do if you're watching this and wondering whether you will or won't get the payment? First, check your income. If your taxable income exceeds £35,000, you may be in the category that won't keep it. Secondly, check whether you were hospitalized or were in prison for the whole qualifying week. If yes, you may be excluded. Third, if you live in a care home and receive the specified benefits and have been resident since the relevant date, you might also be excluded. If none of those apply, then you are likely to receive it, and you should look out for the letter in October or November. Before I finish, a quick reminder. If you find this information helpful, please press the like button. Subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss future updates, and stay informed about any changes that could affect you. The eligibility rules are subject to change, so it pays to remain up to date. In summary, the winter fuel payment may be up to £300 this winter, but if you fall into one of the three groups I've described, higher income above £35,000, full week in hospital, or certain care home residents receiving defined benefits, you may not receive it in full or at all. It is crucial to check. Thank you for watching and stay informed. If you found this video useful, make sure to subscribe and share it with friends or family who might be affected by these changes. Staying informed can make a real difference, especially with so many updates to pension and benefit rules each year. Always double-check the latest details on the official government website before making any financial decisions. Thank you for supporting the channel and helping others stay aware of what really matters.